Joined by Jenny McCarthy from Photos by Jen, one of Ireland's leading wedding photographers. Jenny, you've been doing this for a decade now.
Yeah, 10 years.
And you've learned quite a bit, I'd imagine.
I could write a book or two, Ciara. Yeah, I have actually learned so much over the years. Not just about photography though, Ciara. Lots of things during the course of a wedding day, things that can go wrong. You know, and how to fix them. I can almost see what's going to go wrong and kind of jump in and fix it before it actually goes belly up.
So let's start then with the morning of a wedding.
Yes.
What should a bride remember?
I suppose if you were to think about nothing else on the day, your time schedule for the morning is really important, because it can, you know, if you're late walking up the aisle, if you're half an hour late walking up the aisle, that's a half an hour gone off your drinks reception later on. Do you know, it knocks the day out by a half an hour. So if you can get your times right for the morning and walk up the aisle 5-10 minutes late maximum, your day is going to run really, really smoothly.
So an actual timetable, Jenny, people should make out a timetable.
Absolutely. Like with my clients, I always give them a timetable. So I would say, well, this is what time I'm going to arrive with you guys. This is what time I want everybody dressed. This is what time I want my bride or my groom dressed at. This is what time I'm going to be at the church. So everybody knows what time to be ready for. And then you can say to your hair and makeup people, this is what time actually I need to be dressed for, so they can work back their times then to suit.
How long should a photographer have in the house then, Jenny, when the bride is ready to take photographs?
Well, I would always say the photographer should be up at the church really 20 minutes before the ceremony is due to begin.
Now you have a top tip for guests at a wedding when the bride is coming up the aisle.
I do.
And it's something I've never thought about, and I'm pretty sure I'm guilty of.
Do you know, in fairness, it's not their fault. If you can imagine when the photographer is up at the top of the aisle, possibly capturing the groom's expression as the bride is walking up, sometimes guests can step out into the aisle and try to take the same photograph. That is the photographer's shot absolutely ruined. And they're the ones getting paid on the day, and the bride and groom want this shot in their album. So guests, please don't step out into the aisle.
Your second tip is please don't post anything on social media.
Oh, Ciara, yes.
Does that really happen?
It really does happen. And you know, and recently again I heard of somebody else who, the bride's pals who went up to the bedroom beforehand and they were taking photographs together, and there was a picture put up on social media before she walked up the aisle. Do you know, seriously, leave social media alone. If you want to put pictures up of yourself, that's fine. I think leave putting pictures up of the couple till the following day.
Jenny has one top tip for when you and your guests arrive at the reception.
You must tell families where the photographs are being taken and what time. So my biggest tip is do not check in when you get to the hotel. Leave the bags in the car, because if you make yourself available immediately for photographs, they can be done and they're over and done with them, then you can do whatever you want for the day. So, but if you give the photographer a list of photographs that you want, you'll get the pictures you need.
Jenny also recommends that every wedding has an emergency kit.
So yes, I've got a bag of tricks, Ciara.
And you take this everywhere?
I take this everywhere. So I would always have the clips in my bag because I can see it happening. And you know, if the hairdresser hasn't put the clips in, I'll put them in then at the end of the aisle. And if the veil comes out, I'll stick it back in.
What else is in here?
Hairspray.
Essential.
Absolutely essential.
Particularly in Ireland.
Scissors in the bedroom on the morning of a wedding. You know the tags that stick out on all dresses?
Yes.
And people are scurrying looking for scissors. Oh yeah, so you know when the flowers go into the little buttonhole on the guys?
Yes.
Sometimes they can fall out, and especially when people are hugging. So pins, I get the nice little ones.
Pins.
I do, you know, with the little pearl on top. Double-sided tape, plasters, needle and thread. So things that have gone wrong at a wedding, I can think of one awful thing. This doesn't happen all the time. A nylon zip on the back of a dress. You know, if there's a nylon zip on the back of the dress, you've got to be so careful. You need two people to close the dress, somebody to hold it together and the other
to pull it up.
Yeah. So what happened was the nylon zip burst on the bride's dress. So we were 40 minutes late to the church that day. So you know, needle and thread is always very handy as well.
Thanks, Jenny. 10 years of wedding photography, and you have some essential top tips to ensure that your day goes off without a hitch. Ireland AM viewers can claim a 10% discount off any wedding booked with Photos by Jen before 31st of January.